Hi, hi to all.
Hello.
Another podcast from Panis live with Panis. We have today with us Dimitris Kyriacou, co-founder of EFEVRE Tech, to discuss their innovation. With Dimitris, we met also in the last web summit that took place in November in Lisbon. They exhibited there. So we'll have a nice discussion with Dimitris. Tell us more about their inventive, as I imagine from the name.
Yes.
Uh,
So,
yeah, I mean, Dimitris, let's first of all tell us about you. Uh, in general, what the favorite tech is doing and your team.
great. Thank you, Panis. It was great meeting you in Web Summit with all the 100,000 people. That was impressive, an impressive conference for me. So, EFEVRE Tech was founded in 2018 in order to provide automation systems, robotic systems that automate biological labs. So my background is I have a PhD in molecular biology, and I was always struggling in performing multiple tasks and failing in everything. So I thought that maybe a robot will help me, and that's the truth for many scientists today. Actually, most scientists struggle to replicate some of their own results. In fact, 50% of them cannot replicate their results, and that's a fact. And we're trying to solve that in EFEVRE Tech.
That's interesting. Let's get the what is the name? I know there is a story there with the name.
So EFEVRE basically means to invent technology. So in Greek, EFEVRE means to invent. And it started as when I was at school. I was discussing with my classmates. I wanted to be a scientist, I told them. And after I finished my PhD, I decided that that was wrong from the beginning. And from the beginning, I was trying to be an innovator, an inventor. And that's the source of EFEVREDIS and the EFEVRE.
And okay, let's say a bit about your team. How many you are right now, and yeah.
Yeah, right now we are 6 people. Basically, we are covering all the technical expertise that are needed. So we have one person for each position: a biologist, one electrical engineer, one mechanical, one software engineer for robotics, one software engineer for front end, for the graphical user interface, and an industrial designer and graphical designer. And we also are lucky to have with us a lot of collaborators, outside collaborators, like Sodiros Pavlidis that join us in the Web Summit, and Philippos Onisiforou, who is doing electrical automation on our robots. And basically, that's it. That's a core team.
Cool.
Uh,
And it's a full team, I believe. A very good team to start with, uh, and hopefully you will growing as you go along. Okay, I know that, but let's delve a bit into the. Okay, you said it's difficult to create. How you how to program for robot that's a robot or I think yeah. that.
Yeah. Sorry, can you repeat, because the connection was I was losing you.
Yeah, I mean, automating so you're building a robot that helps scientists automate different tasks. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, of course.
How it happens?
So
How you do it?
yes, the robot is called AMGEL, so automated and general laboratory, and it brings two innovation features into the market of automation platforms. One is versatility, meaning that as you mentioned, it can automate multiple different procedures on the lab, because it is composed of multiple parts. So the device is modular. It has multiple parts, and they are all working together as one. And those parts are the ones that are needed for every laboratory, every biological laboratory, which are briefly, let's say, the handling of liquids and handling of labware. So we can automate a procedure that the biologists do by hand from the start to the end. And that's important for biologists because we eliminate the human handling inconsistencies. So that's a huge problem, because through my experience, when you start working for 8-10 hours, and that's normal for a scientist, you lose track, and you can do mistakes that you cannot ever notice. So those are noticed small mistakes add up, and the end result is that today there are publications showing that 70% of data that the biologists do are not reproducible. So that means that as a biologist, I'm wasting 70% of my time and a lot of money. So if I automate that part, the biologist still will have her job, but they are going to spend more valuable time in analyzing the results and designing new experiments, and at the end, and discovering better drugs, more reliable drugs, because the results from the device are going to be more reliable than the results, as I said, from a human perspective that is introducing errors. And the second part of the device, the innovation part of the device, is a patent pending robotic fridge and freezer that we have developed here in EFEVRE TECH. And that robotic fridge and freezer allows the device to work non-stop, because the device can take the samples and reagents from the fridge any time of the day. So you don't need to have a person there to load the device. And that's important because you can minimize the timeline from the point of when you start a research project to the point that you end and publish, from 3 years, that is the common duration today for an average lab, to 1 year. And that's huge, because you can have more innovations, more solutions for pharmaceutical companies faster. And most likely you can have more money drawn into the lab that has this robotic system as well, because they are going to be more productive.
Yeah, I mean, reducing time is one of the things that if you manage to automate stuff and reduce time, of course, that's the benefit there and the big benefit there. Uh,
Mhm.
but again, as far as I understand, so you have built a robot that, by the way, a few years back, I have seen a robotic kitchen that was emulating chefs and doing everything. So for you, it's you are emulating the experiment, I imagine, or something like this.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
with
Yes.
this fridge, the robotic fridge with this samples, etc.
Yes. So the full system it has different components. So each component has a different function, and that function is translated into different steps in a laboratory protocol, meaning that function is centrifuge. So the one function is heating, cooling. One function is magnetic bead purification, and so on.
Yeah.
So the fact that the device that we built is modular allows these functions to be used in any order. And that's the difference with other devices out there, that the order of the functions is fixed. For us, it can be the order of functions can be random, can be determined by the biologist in any way, and that's the beauty of the device, the fact that it can do multiple stuff, multiple
And
protocols.
also it can be modular, so you can customize it for if any lab wants different stuff. You have
That's a
that,
good
and
Yes, that's a very
you,
good point. Thank you, Panis.
yeah, and you had that, and you have that module, for example. You can customize it. By the way, this device is big in size, small.
Um, as we said, so we try to explain it simple. Is like the size of a two-door fridge. So it's approximate is exactly 1.5 meters to 1 meter depth and 2 meters height.
Cool. Okay. And I imagine, okay, in what stage you are with the device? I think, as far as I know, you raised also some funding, initial funding the last years. Yeah.
Yes, we have raised 680,000 euros, and now we passed through several development steps. First, we collaborated with the University of Cyprus and tested the proof of concept in 2000. We finished in 2020 the test of the pilot device. Then we developed a minimum viable product, which was sold, which is a part of the full system, and that part was sold to the Agricultural Research Institute of Cyprus, and they are currently using it for 1 year, and that's a huge step for us because we have a working device in the market. And currently, we have a funding from REEF that we are using to finalize the product. And also, we are trying to finalize our patent, which is important for us at the moment, and get CE certification. So we are hoping by the end of 2023 to have the finalized platform, and by mid 24 to get to the German market. So that's the goal, the next goal. And of course, for that, we are seeking investment.
And did you calculate a bit the price yet, or how much
They
it will
can,
cost, for example, for a lab to buy this, or it will be
yeah,
modular? I
yes,
think.
if you have the full device with the fridge, the 24/7 applications, the full device is 375 is estimated. the cost, the price of the device. And that's
365,000 even.
yes,
Yeah.
and that's in this field is relatively inexpensive. It's approximately 60% less than a competitor. Sorry, 40% less than a competitor.
Okay. So there is similar competitors out there
Mm-hmm.
doing this.
Mm-hmm. So you can say there are two categories. The first one, which is more popular, especially in Cyprus, is the ones that offer closed systems, meaning that one device for one procedure, and that's costly because you spend 100,000 for one device for one procedure. The second part is the second category of competitors is the custom builders of automations. So the builders of custom automated platforms, and so comparative to them, we are 40% less expensive.
Cool. So I imagine one of the also your differentiation from others is the modularity element.
Yes, which brings versatility, so multiple procedures. That's the whole point. So, as a biologist, I couldn't accept that I will buy 100,000 euros device for one procedure, and the market does not accept it either, because today only 7% of the global market of the instrumentation for biological labs is for automation systems. Only 7%. And these companies exist the last 15 to 20 years, so they are not new. So it's evident from the market that the model of selling one device for one procedure is not widely accepted, and this is the trend we are trying to introduce into the market. So one device for all procedures. That's the goal.
Why did you choose Germany? It's because it's an industrial player, yeah, in Europe.
For two reasons. Is the biggest market in life science. So they have the highest number of laboratories in Europe. And so they are close to UK. But the problem with UK is all the things that's going on now with the taxes, the importing issues and so on, which is much better for us to be in the EU, to sell in the EU. The second part is the fact that most of the modules that we are using are from German companies. So we have a lot of partners there, and hopefully some of the distributors that we have briefly discussed so far a distribution agreement, they can help us in expanding in Germany. So we already had some steps towards Germany.
Cool. Okay, you are in Web Summit. How did you find the event? Some people can say it's too big. Uh, some
Look,
people they
for
like
me,
it. Somebody they like it. You know, we'll have to have
you can interpret my smile. So it was a huge experience. After 2 years of basically lockdown with COVID, for me at least, it was the biggest event I took participation. So for me, it was an opportunity to talk with people, to discuss my product, and actually to see actual feedback on what people think. And after 2 years not discussing with anyone, rather than the close circle, that was a big push for us, because the people there in Web Summit, when we discuss our product, I realized that were very positive to the product, and that means that for me, the feedback was that we have progressed a lot as EFEVRE Tech, and now my feeling was like we are more convincing and more
Yeah,
reliable.
basically because you find versatile people there, and a lot of people uh, this is where new ideas comes, maybe new feedback,
They are
and
more open, you mean?
yeah, and okay, I know that you are involved so a bit, at least the last years, in the innovation space in Cyprus. How do you see? What do you think we're doing right, and what do you think we can improve?
Um, we are doing right the part of networking um, at some point, so at some level. I think we need much more improvement on that. For example, let's say let's refer to Reflect. I think, for example, Reflect as a big event in Cyprus, it can have more structured networking events. Um, Also, we know people that are working in startups, because we are involved in startups and we go to some meetings and so on. But I think we can be much more organized. Or so the network in Cyprus is starting to get some momentum for me, but it's still not. We don't have much opportunities to know what's new out there. To be honest, what's new in Cyprus and how we can collaborate. At least for my part, is not so. So I know my network. I work with them, and maybe they can introduce me to somebody else. But we don't have a huge networking events that can benefit me at the moment. The second, the bad part in Cyprus, as you know, is the lack of resources, the lack of funding. Maybe we have a great product right now, but maybe if we don't find external investors or any other funding, we are going to close in 1.5 years. So nobody will remember favorite tech, and that's that's a pity for.
Okay, recently we had some biotech getting some funding actually from a specific player corporation here in Cyprus. But again, I believe if you are building global products, you need to look for funding anywhere in the world. It doesn't
I
mean if an investor finds that okay, this is a good opportunity, will not care if it's in Cyprus, it will not care if it's even in Bahamas or Caribbean or whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
we
not.
have seen that, yes, in a website.
I believe, yeah, it's about building good products at the end of the day, and maybe there we might be lacking a bit of mentoring, high level mentoring for people that we need to bring maybe from abroad
Mhm.
or Cyprus from abroad. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, also in terms of networking, okay, your field is a bit more okay. It's a field that I believe the last year was a bit growing in Cyprus and starting in Cyprus. So maybe also the networking might be good to comes from the entrepreneurs, as you
Mhm.
as you as an entrepreneur to organize some events for the community and a lot
You
of
are right
times
about that.
a lot of times you don't expect for okay, you have events. Reflect is doing a good job in general, having all these people. The networking part, of course, yeah, I agree with you. It's something that they can improve. Um, and actually, they did something with Cove app this year. So it a bit when you scan people, I guess it took. But yeah, maybe something like Web Summit, the meetings, the platform, the app, maybe something that like that would be good and beneficial.
Hmm. Maybe it's a good project to
And have
start.
the of course now we have also this Tech Island. I don't know if you have seen this platform for the ecosystem, the tech ecosystem. There are listed there around 100 investors. Uh,
Okay.
okay, maybe some of them they have invested only in people expats living in Cyprus, but that doesn't matter. I believe if you have a good, as I have said, if you have a good product.
Hmm.
And do you have any advice for people in your industry or other entrepreneurs that they're starting now their journey to this?
Um, so, of course, so it's a very difficult path. Sorry, it's a very difficult path to follow. So, if you are not into it 100% and you are not ready to test yourself, don't do it. So this is not coming from me. I actually have seen a short video from Elon Musk, and he said that if you are looking for inspiration for starting your own startup, don't do it, because it's a very difficult procedure, and you are going to have many ups and downs, and a lot of fails. So if you are not ready to handle the fails, because you are going to be ready to handle the pain and the fails if you are focused on what you are trying to do, and if you believe in your task. If you don't do it.
Good, great advice. Okay, any other, before we close, any other, okay, we said that you are looking investment to reach 2024. Any other future plans or any other comments, maybe about the industry, about Cyprus?
Um, uh, Basically, I would like to take this opportunity to invite anyone that it might be interested in working with us in any field. So let's say that it might be biologists, it might be a technology provider. So EFEVRE Tech is not going to focus only on automation and robotics for biologists. We are building other projects as well as we speak. We are focusing on circular economy for now. And also, we are planning to study and build some products for alternative energy solutions. So, and those are the goals for the next 2 or 3 years. So, we have a great team here, and we can collaborate with anyone that might have an experience in energy or in recycling or in circular economy or smart cities. We are happy to do that.
And
So
what is the URL if someone wants to find you? The what?
so it's www.efevre.com.
Ah, Okay.
And they can find our our email is info@efevretech.com, and all the contact informations are on the website that I mentioned. And they can find me on LinkedIn as well. It's very easy.
Cool. We will share some links also in the comments of this video and in the interviews to follow. Many thanks, Dimitri, for your time. Good luck with the project.
Thank you, Panis. Thank you very much for your time as well.
We are here to follow up your future news and let us know how the thing with EFEVRE TECH is going.
Great. Thank you.
Many thanks all for listening, watching. If you are listening this from our podcast or from if you are watching this from our channels, and stay tuned for more in Panis Live hashtag for more podcasts to come. Many thanks.